What it do, everybody? So today's video is all about what women notice first. So obviously when you guys are out in public, there is things that she from a distance up close will notice. And so this video can either help you to understand that maybe in this area you gotta work on it, maybe you gotta improve this, and maybe sometimes some of you guys don't get that this is important stuff that she notices. So hopefully I can help you with some of these improvements if you got to make it, or maybe you got to just up your game in other areas and pull more females just because she notices these things from you from a distance or up close. All right, so fellas, give this video a big thumbs up if you have not done that. And before I jump into it, y'all, if you want to talk to me, book your consultation, and maybe you can even tell me some things that females don't really look at. You know, some things that you could work on and you don't get enough attention from other women, or they dismiss you quickly when you tell them this. So whatever it is, we can talk about it through consultations, or it could be just experiences you are having with the female. Book your consultations by clicking that link down below. All right, fellas. So before we get into the talking, y'all got to understand that whatever you really feel about yourself, so if you don't feel confident, if you don't look that good, you cannot let that show out loud, because a woman will extremely judge you. So, you know, based on how you will view a female, if she's walking down the street and, you know, she's looking bummy, still, she could get by with that. Same for you fellas, she's easily judging you guys. So on a daily, for a lot of you guys, don't ever go get caught slipping. Don't go, and this is going to lead us into the first thing, a physical appearance, but don't ever go somewhere underdressed, not looking appropriate, and, you know, let me say it like this, looking a mess due to the facts of you're not thinking that I could wear a suit or I should wear a suit. So this physical appearance is all about how much do you sag your pants, or how much do you wear a suit? How much do you wear a golf track suit instead of just a regular sweater? You get what I mean? So these little things, aside from designers and looking like luxury and looking like you have money, she'll notice those things off the bat. Those things are going to be in front of her face. But what she'll start judging you based on is like, can you put an outfit together, or do you still dress like this? So I need y'all to get that. Some of the stuff that y'all did when you were younger, and if you were young still, some of the things that you did before, or if you look at other fellas, some of these things that they think they can still do, it won't work at a certain age. Once again, if you guys do not know, women actually do mature a little bit faster. Let's dismiss the mind games, right? But they're maturing just a little bit faster. Most times they date men up, they like older guys. So when she sees you in person, for example, when you go to an event, and there's plenty of other guys, other options, we can say it like that. And those other guys decide to wear a nice dress shirt or a suit or something, right? And that makes sense. That makes you look more put together. That does this and that, all types of stuff. You, on the other hand, you happen to just wear a regular t-shirt. You happen to wear sweats. You happen to wear, and this is wild, but there's some guys out there that will show up trying to impress her or look good, or just like it doesn't matter, and show up in shorts. Does that make any sense? She will not take you serious. She dismisses you, and she looks at that and notices it right away. So right away means first appearance, or first, opinion that she'll have on you will be this. So this just means that you want her to basically have the best first appearance that she could ever see of you. That means you don't play it safe. You always appear ready. Got your stuff together, not just rolled out of bed and just threw whatever on so you can, get through the day. So it's like the value that you show through how you appear. And I'm going to get back into appearance and some of the stuff that she'll first notice. But just let me get you guys to get this. The value you show through appearance, whether it's the first time she notices you or down the line when she ever comes around, or if you're dating all the time, if you guys are around each other, the value that you bring out that she notices from you will be how she will treat you. So if you don't value yourself, you don't bring out value, you don't, come up, look the part. If you don't dress professional because you feel like, and this is just for example, you feel like you are a boss, or in this moment, you are supposed to look professional because you are the manager or you run this a certain way. If you don't show that part, if you don't feel like this is important, you don't show the I gotta do my part, or I'm gonna stay up to date, up to shape with it, then you're going to have her not respect you, not really take you serious, look at you as somebody that's still, someone that could be an option. Now, let's just move that to the side and move on to some of the things that you guys have on, like some of the things that you guys might just throw on because that's your style. Those things you can't change too much, because still be true to yourself. Don't just dress up to look nice, but dress up to your style. And that's how you will also have a lot of women notice more about your personality. And we'll talk about personality in a second. But when she does notice your personality, it will also tell her certain things off the bat. So if you're funny, if you have a great sense of humor, which we'll talk about also in a second, all that gives her the idea of what type of guy you are, how much she should value you, what type of mind games or tricks or certain things that she shouldn't cross the line with you, right? And just take it like this. If she values or looks at you, at that guy she takes serious, based on everything that I said, there are certain things that she knows off the bat, I will not try. He's either not going to give me the time of the day, or he's going to just literally dismiss me, type of stuff. So back to now, just dismissing or moving on from this whole idea of your physical appearance. Other things that you got to obviously know is that she's going to notice your height. She's going to notice your overall appearance of like face, legs, if you have long legs, big feet, big hands, all those things she'll notice. Even skin tones. Like at the end of the day, everybody has their type. So it's just going to be like when you're in front of her, she looks at you and she's going to overall be like, okay, well, my ex, not exactly does she jump back to her ex, but think about it this way. She has an ex. She has maybe a guy on the side that, is one of her options. However, she's thinking, is he better looking? Or wow, he is overall one of the best looking guys that I've seen. And then there could be something about you that is like outstanding or very noticeable, or something, like that's really her type of guy. And she'll first off she'll enjoy it, she'll notice it, it's different, it's catching her eyes. But the next thing is gonna be back to the compared to the other guys, to see how much you are that guy, how much you are very attractive to her or not attractive. So it's like almost like the check off. If you're in front of her and you have the height, that's a check off. If you're on the skinnier side, that's a not check off. That's nothing checked off. That makes more sense. But what I'm just trying to say is, remember with that whole checklist that she has, and it happens fast, right? You're in front of her. So with that whole checklist, how many check can she do? When you're in front of her and you're actually her type, it's going to start from, possibly the height, but it's going to be like your height, the way you dress, maybe your face, maybe it's facial hairs, maybe it's the way you keep yourself together, back to hygiene as well, back to appearance and the way you dress. Could be all that, when you're a 10 out of 10, could be all that is correct on her list. That would obviously make her way more attracted to you. She would actually be interested, want you, types of stuff. But really the point is that how many checks are you getting off? And then this is what women really notice. So a lot of you fellas can work on any of these areas, most of it. Obviously, if there's certain things you can't change, like your height and stuff like that, you leave that. You get bigger in other areas, your arms and other things you can do. My point is just like, there's so many things out here that you fellas can still continue to work on. Take it as in you're doing it for yourself at the end of the day, but also take it as in females do notice this, and the best bet is always getting the most check off you can on her list. And then options, just to wrap up with this point so we can move on to like personality wise, just taking with the options thing, when she does have options, you might be convenient or better off for her at a certain moment. So maybe, she checks you off in the aspect of being a really serious guy, a really mature guy. So, maybe you could be dating a younger woman, a female that wants to be out all the time. If that's the case, if she's done playing her games, or she doesn't want to have fun, or she wants the serious guy, right? Could be a night where she just is reminiscent or really wants you, or it just makes sense. She's going to have to come back to you. And this is just compared to the other options that she has. They're more on the same tip of, let's go out, let's turn up. Or maybe they're just not as serious, or you just happen to be more of a serious guy than all these other guys, so you're the first one of her option. So like back to how that day will come or the weekend will come, what she'll do is contact you, and boom, that's what you are good enough for her. Yes, you are an option, but it's back to she's noticed this, and then that's when she comes back around at this time, because it's convenient. And I'm not going to get into if she's using you and all those things, but take that into consideration of, what does she always hit you up for? After she noticed these things about you, like, hey, you're good at this area, you have this going on and that going on, what does she really try to stay close enough to you to get advantage from that? How does she like try to get advantage from that, basically? What does she get advantage from talking to you, keeping you in her life after she's noticed that you do this? So pay attention to what you tell a female and then how she acts afterwards, because it could actually tell you why she's only keeping you in her life. What are you actually just beneficial for from, all the things that you told her? It's like at this point, she knows you better, or she knows you well, and can she keep moving forward after these things? Will it be beneficial? And oftentimes, y'all fellas got to know that you can't miss these games or signs, because you guys might start changing or start acting a certain way to please her or make her happy. So in other words, sometimes it can happen where, she's noticing this about you and thinking that she knows you so well, and then she still knows you well, but you got into your feelings and emotions. And then there's like the weaknesses of, you're supposed to be the serious guy. I am so sorry about that, y'all. My volume should be off. I don't know how it goes sometimes. Your girl be forgetting. But there's also like when you could be that serious guy, she always had that serious image in her head of you, but then you weakened, you softened, you haven't noticed that she knows you really well and she knows your behavior or how you're capping, and yet you're still giving her more. So you kind of drift off to not being that serious guy. So that's just really something I threw out in there, or I wanted to throw in there for you guys. So you could just get the other aspect of like, she might come back to you, or she notices these things about you and she likes you for those things. But, you could be so valuable for those things that she respects you for so long. But then when you start lacking in other areas, such as emotionally being stable, then, the things that she noticed about you in the beginning, she has now lost interest to you. She's not interested about you no more, just due to that's not going on, or she knows this now. So just keep that all in mind, and it will lead into the personality that you got. So if you are serious, and we'll elaborate this specifically in the next video of notice, I'll start the topic off with this because this is very deep. There's a lot of details to add on this. So personality and serious with a sense of humor. So this is very important to have a sense of humor off the bat. The serious is where a lot of you fellas might have to get to, and then balancing is going to be the overall key at the end of the day. And fellas, once again, we could talk about balance. Maybe you're lacking in other areas and you want to be better in this area, or she's been telling you get this correct and you don't know how to do it. We could talk about it. Don't forget, you can book that consultation after this video, okay? But let me just go back to finish, or, we're getting close to the end of the video, so I'll still do a little bit of wrapping up. But let's say this, with you being serious, when you have a life, when you have responsibilities, when you're mature, you have to be mature and things like that. Overall, you have to move a certain way. Overall, your personality might be a certain way. Overall, you might not loosen up in certain areas. So now the thing with you having a sense of humor and having balance to know when you should be funny, know when you should bring that laughter out and have that sense of humor come in is going to be, how can you make her loosen up? So what woman will first, or, right away notice is that I can't loosen up right now because this guy's always serious. Or you know what, every time I'm trying to just have a good time, or I'm trying to just crack jokes, or, just not be so sensitive, he wants to be so military serious. Now, it's not the worst thing. It's just the balance that she's now looking at, like, you can't show a side of being funny, giggly. Now, don't be goofy with it, fellas. Don't be the guy that, you don't know how to be funny, and then you don't know how to stop talking. You don't also know that, you're doing the most, she doesn't want you, and back off. So it's gonna be like, you don't have to be on a serious, strict note, but no, if you are good at telling jokes, crack a few. But know that if a female doesn't give you no signal, she's not feeling you, don't be thirsty or desperate trying to get that out of her. And so I want to wrap up just to say that a lot of you guys, you have to develop your personality. You have to know some, or get some game, but you have to get that with personality. You need to know how to be a little bit funny here and there. You got to have charisma. So just as you grow back to your confidence, this is stuff that you'll just develop over time. But this is the thing. Some of you guys say you're confident around her, or you got it, but you still don't. So it means that you have a lot of work to do, starting with inner work. Backtracking to with having a serious side. what's nice about that is that it's already an attractive thing, you know, a serious guy, responsible, leadership, all that good stuff, masculine as well can be a part of it. But overall, what you're just doing is showing her the lines that she can't cross. You know, it's also her knowing that this is not a simp. This is not a guy that I could play with. You guys got to get that there's certain guys out here that women know, if I start doing this behavior, I'm now crossing the line. There's also certain guys out here that she's tried this, right? And it went so bad and she understood never to do it again because that guy was only nice one time, but oh, no, he was a real alpha or whatever you want to call it. So let's just wrap up to say this. If you know your balance, you have the balance, what you're just going to have is a lot of women want to get to know you more. They're going to enjoy your company. And it's going to be because you're so serious most times or you're about your ish. But yet, when you bring that sense of humor, know how to balance it out when it's time, it's the parts of her getting excited. It's the parts of I don't see the side of you all the time, and I would like to see it more. And so it really wraps up to say that you should be more serious than on the never be goofy, but on the laughter, on the chill, on the you could also say passive. But if you're gonna be like not about everything, not being so strict at times, you're gonna have a woman also be open with you. And like I told you with this loosening up, if she's loosening up around you, it's because she feels comfortable, right? And if she's loosening up around you, it's also because she feels like, okay, you know, you deserve this. Why not? All those types of vibes. So if it's your personality that pushes a female away sometimes, it could be that you are too serious. It could be your personality is like, can I even crack a smile? And then also sometimes it could be you're really boring. That's actually another whole thing we can talk about in a different video. But that adding to being serious, you definitely don't want to be the boring guy over serious. You're better off being serious, but definitely not be the guy that doesn't have a nice sense of humor, a nice funny side, another chill vibe with you, okay? So I'll wrap up to finally say that, yes, physical appearance and your personality, they will be the things that she'll notice, she'll see, she'll take back with her and go tell her girls or whatever the case may be. And it's just very important that you guys can figure out how you can improve in those areas. So I already mentioned a few things. I hope you guys continue to work, develop, like find that self-love and keep improving yourself so your confidence can be at the top of the game and be who you really are. But no, like there's serious times. There's also this time when you can be chill, you can laugh, you could say a few things and that charisma got her, you know, feeling your vibe types of stuff. All right. So though, if you didn't give this video a big thumbs up, do that. It helps your girl so much. And fellas, like I told you, we can talk on the consultation, book it, and request the types of videos you guys would love to see from me. And y'all will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.